Hi everyone, in today's video we're comparing the Soudcore Life Dot3i against the Apple Airpods Pro. Let's get into it. So a little bit of backstory here. I've been using these Anker Life Dot3is for quite a while now, about a year and a half, and I really just love them. They sound great, they have active noise canceling, they fit into my ears comfortably, and they just work. Some of the other features that I really like is I can use Siri whenever I want while they're in. They have really nice bass. I specifically chose these at the time because they had large drivers compared to some of the other in-ear alternatives. And also they were like 50 or 60 bucks only, and you could probably get them cheaper now. They've got a newer version out as well, and they're just really great. So about a month ago, I came across a pair of gently used Apple Airpods Pro, and I wanted to give them a shot. You know, people who use these love them, and you see everyone walking around with them all the time, and they look great. Everyone thinks that they're the best, and they're significantly higher priced than the Soudcore. I think that they were $200 or $250 new, and that's not what I paid, of course. But I got them. I got the red silicone case, which I actually really like, and then I had to update the little silicone things here. I gave these an honest shot. They also have active noise canceling. They feel great most of the time, but I had some issues with them, and so I just wanted to talk about that for a second in case you're considering getting these. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know if these issues are because these were maybe not so lightly used, or if they were just common across this model of AirPod Pros. I don't love how they feel in my ear. They always feel like they're gonna fall out. A lot of people that doesn't bother. To me, it bothers. I did just get like a haircut, but when my hair and my sideburns and beard were just a hair longer right here, I had an issue where I still don't know exactly what it was. There's an option for ear detection, right? And the ear detection, or my facial hair was hitting the button, because it's like a haptic touch feedback on the side of the stem here. And so I don't know what was going on exactly, but I tend to listen way more podcasts than music and do a lot of phone calls. And so I expect whatever I put in my ears to work great and function great for those things. And I felt like phone calls were okay, but when I was listening to a podcast, it just kept pausing and pausing and cutting out and pausing. And it wasn't a connectivity issue. I'm pretty sure that they kept reporting that they were coming out of my ear. One of the things that I really did like a little bit more about the AirPods was the integration into the Apple iOS. So here's what I'm talking about. So, you know, you have your typical volume meter right here. You can long press that and bring up your AirPod Pro settings here. So you can turn noise control onto transparency, where you can hear footsteps from people and things like that. And it lets in some sound. You can noise cancellation, where it blocks all sound, which is also really nice. And you can also do spatial audio, which I didn't quite get into too much, but basically what it does is you use your phone to take a three-dimensional scan of your ear canal, and then it designs the shape of the sound through the equalizer based on the shape of your ear, which is actually really cool. And I did notice a difference. It did sound a little bit better to me. The AirPods actually, I think, sounded better than these cheaper, like quarter of the price Soudcore Dot3is, but it wasn't significant. Music sounded better, but if it was bassy, it was kind of evenly matched. I think that the sound quality is definitely there, and in terms of sound quality, I definitely vote for the Apple AirPods. Another thing I like about the AirPods is, to continue with how they're integrated with the Apple iOS, is that when I open up my settings and they're right at the top, and so I can just tap in there, go into the settings, and you can change what happens with each earpod when you press and hold it. I kept turning off, here's my gripe with this, I kept turning off automatic ear detection because I thought that that's what was causing my music and my podcasts to continually pause, right? It would pause and then pick back up, pause and pick back up. So I disabled that setting, and then lo and behold, the next time I take them out and put them in, the setting is reset and it's automatically set back to on for automatic ear detection. And I couldn't get it to stay. All right, so next we're gonna open up these Soundcore Life Dot3is, pop them in my ears. I'll show you how to twist them in, and then I'm gonna fire up the app and show you what that can do. Now the app isn't super necessary or super important. It does offer a couple of little features for doing settings. You just twist like that, just very gently, so that you kind of lock them into your ear, both sides. As soon as you get the first one in, it says doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then that means that you're connected and ready to go. Close the case. Cool, let's fire up that app and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've already done the initial setup for these. Obviously I had them for over a year now, and so they're just dialed into my system. I fire them up, my Bluetooth is already configured, and when I fire up the app, because I'd like to make some changes, here's what it looks like. So you go into the app like this. You can real-time change what setting you have. You can do noise cancellation, you can do transparency mode, which is the one that I mentioned I don't care for, and then you can do normal. Normal lets in other sounds from the environment. It doesn't have any active noise canceling. It just uses the mechanical ear cup to stop other ambient sounds from getting into your ears, but you can still hear things like footsteps, loud voices, cars, stuff like that. And if you'd like more active noise cancellation, if you'd like a quieter time to yourself, you can select that, of course. The equalizer is really helpful. You can pick a prefabricated equalizer setting. I like rock. You can do a custom one as well if you'd like to do something bassier or something more in tune for podcasts and voice and things like that. Under controls here at the bottom, it brings up a couple different options for what the buttons can do. I don't know if I showed you, but there's a couple of small buttons on either earbud, and you can program a short single press, a double press, and a long press for each one. For a single press, you can pick volume up or down, next, previous, or play pause. For pressing twice, you get the same options, as well as the option to activate your voice assistant, whether that's Siri or if you're using a Google phone, whatever the Google one is. And you can also press twice to activate the ambient sound mode. And this is what I was talking about. If you long press for 2 seconds, you can pick between cycling through all 3 noise canceling settings, or just 2, or even deactivate that if you would like. And so I picked the 2 that I would like to cycle through, and I don't like transparency mode, so it's off. One of the things that I don't love about these, if I had to pick one thing, is that you do kind of have to dig into your ear a little bit to get them out, but I've never had them fall out. I run with them. I mean, I don't run a whole lot, but when I do, they're in. I spin the mace, I lift weights, I do all those things. And they're some kind of water resistant, so you can wear them in the rain, which I've done. Now let's talk a little bit more about the Apple product. Apple is the biggest name in everything, and they are the gold standard. These just didn't do it for me. And so if I had $50 or $100 and I got to pick between Apple Airpods Pros and something like this, I would choose this, because you get a little bit more value, I think, of course, but then these for me work better. These haven't really worked that great. One of the other things that I really didn't care about for the Apple AirPods, which kind of blew me away, was you can't say, "Okay Siri." You can't activate "Okay Siri" while they're in. But with the non-Apple branded AirPods, I could, no problem. Or sorry, earbuds. I don't want to AirPod the earbuds thing, right? But I had a better experience with these. They worked better for me. Less downtime, less fiddling, less goofing around with them. For me, they just worked. And one more thing, they fit into that little side pocket on my pants, the little tiny one that doesn't seem to hold anything but quarters. This one, this case fits in. This case does not. And I also seem to be able to get a little bit more listening time with these compared to these, even though the case is bigger. So that's my take, and I hope that helps you make your decision with what you're gonna put in your ears to listen to your podcast, music, and phone calls. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this review, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good one.